Hi, welcome back to Wada Network. We are Scope. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you tell your friends to subscribe to Wada Network. We've got Salman here today. We've got Mohammed here today. You got myself, Musa. We've got Jibril. And we've got a bunch of lovely people, I think. But yeah.
Debatable.
Mad debatable right now. But yeah, today we're going to talk about... Say that again, mate.
Just because Salman's not.
Okay, right. Yeah, so basically, right, today we're going to talk about... the creative... like in terms of growing up and being creative and going into a creative industry, and how growing up in a Somali household or even an African household, we don't really push towards that direction. And I want to start off with Salman and ask him for his opinion as to why we don't do that more often, and what he believes is if it's the right approach or if it's not the right approach.
I didn't realize I was going to start, to be honest. Do you know, I reckon the creative field gets a lot of stick in our community.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and I just think that there is a lot of misinformation around it. Our parents usually, their insistence on the natural sciences, and it's usually medicine or engineering.
Yeah.
Comes from obviously the fact that, you know, the jobs market it's not the most secure. Do you know what I mean? So with those kind of jobs, you tend to have a more secure route in terms of finding employment. So that's where it comes from. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really fault them for that. But and for a while, the creative field wasn't as lucrative, or wasn't as capable of giving people a livelihood. Which gave it a bit of a bad rep in it. But the thing is, it's changing now.
Yeah.
That's very different. Do you know what I mean? You can literally make money in anything.
So would you so say your kid comes to you, I'm gonna go on everyone asking this, but like, say your kid comes up to you, said he wants to do art for a living.
What does that mean?
He wants to do drawing, as in like he wants to be an artist in terms of like he wants to draw, make paintings and that kind of stuff. What would you encourage him, or how would you go about that? And if you could.
Well, first of all, I tried to figure out, why does he want to do it? Innit?
He's very passionate about it.
He's very passionate. Is he any good?
Well, passion begets...
Not always, mate.
Not always true, but this guy's very good, okay.
He's good.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not standing in his way, innit?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? If that's what he wants to do, he's passionate about it, and he understands that it's going to be difficult in the beginning. Yeah. And he's willing to push through that. And I see in him a resilience and a determination to do what needs to be done.
Uh-huh.
I'm backing that. Do you know what I mean?
I wanna add on to what Salman said. First of all, I agree with your point where I wouldn't stand in my was it your son or something? Anyone, whatever. Yeah. You want to stand in the child's way. At the same time, as a parent or as a carer of the person, you want the person to grow and make their own mistakes.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And even if you think, listen, okay, cool. If he takes an art degree or whatever he's doing, and he uses that, and he and maybe in 5-6 years time he doesn't really get anything from it, at least he's learned something and he can use that, and then he can go into something else. But if you're always gonna shield him and you're always gonna be like, no, don't do this and don't do that, eventually he's gonna crumble.
Okay, but so you're telling me, as in, what would you do in that scenario? Would you let him or would you not?
I would let him.
You would let him? What about yourself, mate?
Assalamu alaikum.
As in, no?
So, can I talk?
Yeah, sure you can, mate.
All right, cheers. Basically, I absolutely agree with Salman in terms of, like in our community, there are a lot of creative careers that, we don't really appreciate or we don't know much about, right? So, can I talk about like why that happens, or
we're going to get into that, but would you
for the art kid?
For that kid, yeah.
For the art kid, for it to be as work or university?
This is what he wants to do from A-levels onwards.
From A-levels onwards.
Yeah.
There are a lot of careers that I don't agree with. Creative careers itself, I don't really have much against, but I would make him understand the fact that it's an uphill struggle, innit? I wouldn't personally want my kid to be doing art.
So you say no to him?
Nah, what I would say to him, you can do it in your own time. Career, like
do something else.
Like do something else that's more stable, and in the future, basically, if it works out for you, put the other stuff or whatever you did to the side and continue. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I would love for my kid to have sense of stability. Now, if you're saying this is something he just picked up and he's not really good at it, he's trying to learn it and stuff and blah, 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 but he loves it, and it's a passion of his, I'll tell him do that alongside something else. But if he was amazing and people were already buying his stuff,
No, that's never the case though.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I would tell him to do it alongside something else, but solely that, absolutely not.
Lempo, what is your view on that? What do you think about this whole scenario?
Like, it all depends on at what stage is this child actually talking about. You're telling me now he's doing his GCSEs
He's literally doing his A levels at this moment. Yeah.
or A levels, yeah?
I think that's when everyone kind of figures out.
Yeah,
what
and
they
he's
wanna do.
heading towards uni
Yeah.
for thingy.
Yeah.
At that time, you have a rough idea whether or not he's good or bad. And
Not
if you said
really.
he's
Not really, to be honest.
no, to an extent, I'm
more
not saying he can't pick up a pen and
I
draw
can't.
anything,
Yeah.
but you go to uni to learn things. Whether you're learning medicine or if you're doing art, you're picking up these skills that will be useful. And if you have a passion and you need to pick up these skills, I don't think you should get in the way of that, because people can pick up another degree easily nowadays.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand?
Yep.
So it's what, 3 years?
Yep.
A degree in arts or creative writing or poetry or whatever it is that he wants to do, literature, whatever it is the person wants to do. It's easy to establish nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just 3 years where you're supporting the person. But I think it's more important that the kid understands that you need something to fall back on.
Okay, so what if the kid literally says to you, I don't believe in university, I'm not gonna gain nothing from that. I can at this point in time I can literally work and I believe something will come from this. And this is he will literally place all his eggs in a basket in the belief that he will make it in this field.
I definitely wouldn't agree with that.
You wouldn't? You just tell him no?
No.
I definitely would.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me why you'd agree with that.
Basically, you're never too old for education.
Cool. That's
Okay.
beautiful. Yeah.
All right. So if he says to me, listen, if he proves to me I can make money out of this, and he has raw talent, and there's people that gives an objective, there's people in that field, in the art field, that can say to me as his parent, yo, this guy is good, and he's making money out of it, I'm saying, okay, cool.
Do your thing.
Do your thing. In some cases, university is overrated. You know how many psychology graduates I know that ain't got a job? How many graduates I know that are struggling to find a job?
Very
Do you get
true.
it?
This
See
is-
where I'm coming from?
yeah.
So, university is not the end all be all. So, be all, end all.
No, honestly.
So what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
I don't know which one it is, but what I'm trying to say is, okay, cool. Say he,
Did it go uni? Yeah.
yeah, bro, man's still. I'm repping the uni team anyway. What I'm trying to say is, this kid, okay, cool. He can try it. If it flops, calm. Don't worry. We start again. We'll be what? You'll be what? 21, 22, and it doesn't work out, and we start again. It's not a thing.
I'm on the same
See where I'm
belief.
coming
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, when it comes to doing something you want, you can't half-ass it.
Very
Do
true.
you know what I mean? People always use that analogy, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, yeah. And they always kind of try to frame it from a negative perspective. You know, there's always going to be that, because there's never going to be anything that's purely positive in it. But the problem is, when you're trying to go for something that you're very passionate about, there's something that you want to do, you can't half-ass it. You can't be like, oh, no, listen, I'm going to do it a little bit like this, or I'm going to do it like that. You need to put your everything into it. Do you know what I mean? Because then after whatever time period that you put into it, yeah, you can, whether you decide to go with it or not, you can say to yourself, oh, okay, listen, I'm happy with what I've done because I've put in everything that I can into this, yeah? So whether you make it or not, you can be like, okay, listen, I'm happy with the result. Do you know what I mean? Because I know I've given everything I could have. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to half-assing it and then deciding, oh, okay, listen, because you half-assed it, you didn't get to where you wanted to do, you leave it, yeah? Someone else does the exact same thing but puts everything in it and achieves the things that you could only dream about. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine living with that kind of bitter and resentment for the rest of your life? Do you know what I mean? So the thing is, at the very least, you know, go, like Jabril said, yeah, there's no time limit to when you can learn or education, but there is a time limit for passion.
Very true.
And that's in your youth. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
The passion you have in your youth, you're never going to get again. Do you know what I mean? So at the very least, you know, spend all of it doing something you want to do, because then when you grow older, you're not going to regret that.
Yeah.
Even if you don't make it, you're going to be like, oh, there's going to be memories you're going to look back to positively.
Of the time,
do you know
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
tried, yeah.
So yeah, man. So that's just...
You totally disagree with that because I see you shaking your head.
100%, mate.
Tell me why, my friend.
It took a turn that I wasn't expecting. The whole chasing your dreams and career, like in terms of, you know, your passion and whatnot. First and foremost, I think we should look at it from the perspective of the parent. No parent wants bad for their kid. You understand?
True. Yeah.
So when a parent says to their kid, like, I don't think this is like you should be putting all your eggs in one basket. they don't want to see their kid all of a sudden at 23 with nothing on the table, starting all over again. I don't think any parents say, yeah, but at least he went for something he loves. I've never seen that, in my opinion. You know what I mean? They always want the best for their kid. Yeah. So what they would try to do is they would try to be the playmaker for their child and be like, you know what? I think this is from their experience. Now, every parent has different experience when it comes to like university careers, what they've done in life, and blah blah. That they have a different viewpoint. You understand? So when like my parents might tell me something different to like Musa's parents, because life experiences are completely different. Yeah. So when you're saying you can learn whenever, I think you're just saying it for the sake of saying it.
What would you say that?
Because I think once, like, all right, you took the turn of, if he's making money, so in Jabril, is money the most important thing for you? That like for your child?
No, not really. No, passion.
Let me finish.
Go on.
So when you said like, you know what, so long as that my child can make money from it and is good at it, then I'm cool with it, and because he's passionate about it. You know what I mean? So for you, it's like, yo, you know what? He's bringing money into the household. I'm all right with it. Is that how you look at it from your point? Because that's how I understood it.
Can I talk?
You know what? The point you made just earlier about me, yeah. Firstly, you said you don't think parents say, at least he did something he loves, yeah, and you say you never heard of that, yeah. Well, I think they should. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, like you said, it's not about money. Listen, life is difficult enough as it is. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And so many people are doing things they don't love. Yeah, you know, I can't remember who said it. Yeah, but someone said that people die at 25. Do you know what I mean? In the sense that when they reach that point, they don't carry on pursuing what they love and their passions and stuff, and they're already dead, bro. Do you know what I mean? They're not even living, fam. You get me? They're just existing. Do you know what I mean? And then just one last thing, I
just turned 25, guys. That's mad.
And then the last thing, even though I believe in doing something wholeheartedly, realistically speaking, the world we live in now, and especially if we're going to be parents over the next 10, 20, 30 years, inshallah, you have to have a certain base, fundamental understanding of how the world works. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, you're listening, because the thing is, it's highly unrealistic, and very stupid, if I'm going to be honest, if you don't allow, if you as a parent don't, like you said, playmate for your child a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Up until 18, listen, you can still, because you're young, bro. You've got the capacity to do it. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to do your passion only. You know what I mean? You can still do your passions and get your standardized learning to a certain degree. Do you know what I mean? If you get to A-levels, you're good, bro. A-levels or high school, whatever in it. Uni, it can come whenever in it. But as long as you've got a firm grounding in how the world works, math, science, English, that's incredibly important. Because if you're not doing that as a parent, you're crippling your child. And the world that we live in here is becoming highly, highly specialized. Do you know what I mean? It's all about knowledge workers. So if you haven't got the capacity to negotiate the world you're living in, you're not being responsible.
Let me go to
because
so you said, do I think this guy, bro, that's my jeans and that. Listen, so you said, do I think money is the most important thing? First of all, no, definitely not. I want to support my kid in, like some man said, whatever passions he's doing, yeah. But of course, he has to prove to me that this is going to be something that he can it's sustainable. So come from the point I gathered from you is you want to make for your child to make sure that the future that he lives is good for him. Yeah. All right? Of course. So do I.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'd rather. So when I say to him, education could come after, or even when he fails, I'm there for him. If I'm not there for him when he fails, what am I use as a parent?
It's not about failing, but of course you should be there for your child
when
he fails.
There we go.
But I'm saying, like, we're not talking about failing. We're talking about you saying, you know what, don't do education, but don't do university. Chase his dream.
No, but the thing is, he's the one.
Hold on, I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, it's cool, but you're not getting the point here, mate.
No, I want him to make me understand it.
Cool, no worries. So I was gonna be there for you. Don't worry.
So he said, like, obviously, do whatever he loves. Is that what he said? Yeah. And then if it doesn't work, then you can always do university.
As an option, yeah.
As an option.
Yeah.
So I'm saying I completely disagree with that. I'm saying basically my viewpoint is like it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Do both. You know what I mean? I come from a very education-based family, so of course that's my viewpoint. It might be wrong. I will never tell my child, no, you can never do a certain thing. Yeah. You understand? Right. But I will never tell him to do this solely. Like for me, I loved football.
What if he tells
All right,
you?
listen.
I loved football.
I get.
I did it professionally up to a certain age.
Yeah.
But then when I got to college, the football club told me, like, listen, you have to do B-Tech sports 3 days a week, and you have to come training, blah, blah, blah. Then my dad was like, what? So what is he going to do? They were like, no A-levels, no this and that, and it can't be sciences or whatever. Yeah. And I loved science at the time. But that was like, in your dreams, mate. You know what I mean? There is no... If you want to do football, you have to also do A-levels or something that gives you a future. I was like, you know what? I understand. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Okay, now
that's your viewpoint and your dad's viewpoint. Yeah. MashaAllah, that's nice.
No, but no, wait.
Well, let me just add on to that. But you said you would never make him choose one option. You would say, school then.
School.
But that contradicts what me as a man are thinking, where if you're going to do something, do it 100%. You can't do something 100%. Wait, listen. Wait, let me finish. Let me land though. If you're going to do something, you got to do 100%. You can't be half-assed about it, and that's what I'm trying to say. So if you're doing both things, you're not going to be 100%. Either one, you're not going to be 100%.
Let me just. Wait, hold on. Let me intervene. So basically, right, this point, this whole scenario, the kid is saying he wants to do this full time. He doesn't want to be 50-50 on it. He doesn't want to do something. He doesn't want to carry anything. This is what he wants to do. This is his passion, and this is the direction he wants to take it. So at that point, what would you say to him? Because your perspective is that you should carry it together, and that's what you would say to him. But if he's telling you,
with it if you want.
Yes, I'll help you with it. But if he's saying, for example, like even going back to your scenario, if you would say to your dad, listen, dad, like I wanna do this full time. I wanna do this.
Just
football. Football is my passion.
Impossible.
No, but I'm saying like, but so from your perspective, what would you say to that child?
I'm absolutely happy, Harta, first and foremost, that my dad gave me alhamdulillah today, because he told me, listen, if something goes wrong, right, if you get injured, if you snap your knee, you're screwed. You know what I mean? And you have no plan B. You know what I mean? I don't like the whole, even in my life as Adif, I don't like just a plan A. 100% set one thing. I like to have a plan A or maybe a B and a C, or just B maybe. You know what I mean? Have options open. So I would never I wouldn't give my son like one option. This is the only thing. Art. That's it. I would say, if that is being a harsh parent or whatever, I just want the best for my child. But I would never just say you should be only doing this or encourage him just to do one thing. I would tell him, if you are so passionate about it, do it, and I will help you as a family, and we can do it 100 hours a week or whatever. But you need to be doing something else as well that gives you a stability and future. Blah blah.
And that's a key word, as a parent, supporting your child in it. Because the thing is, if he's doing on his own, he won't be able to do both. No. He'll barely be able to do one thing on his own. But if as a parent, you stand by them, you can do both. Do you know what I mean? Because listen, it's so important. Listen, in the world we're living in right now, and the advances that are happening in every single sector and in society as a whole, it's so important for you to have some knowledge. Do you know what I mean? So if listen, you're crippling your child, if you're not letting him at least, making sure his learning comes to a certain level. Do you know what I mean? And Jibril, you know what he said about he has to prove to me that he can make money from it. Yeah,
to stabilize himself, to help himself.
The thing is, like one way he could do it, yeah. First of all, at that age, he can't really. He probably won't be making money in it.
One
thing he can do, okay, is point to the field itself and show you how the field how it's growing. Do you know what I mean? For instance, now girls are into fashion. Muslim girls into fashion.
MUA as well.
MUA, whatever it is, But the whole kind of field as modest fashion, that's what it's called. Modest fashion. Modest fashion now is projected by 2021 to be worth $400 billion. Okay. The field. Do you know what I mean? So a girl can go to her mom or dad and be like, "Oh, listen, this is what it feels like. The people are making dumb money in this field." Do you know what I mean? So that's evidence that you're listening. There is money to be made. Do you know what I mean? So would that work for you as a parent?
No, my whole case for this was basically I want to support I don't want at the end of the day to be the person to be resented. Do you get it?
Yeah.
To be like, you know what? You never gave me the opportunity to do this, and do you get it? 100%. So you have me back. Do you get it? That's something I want to do. Do you know where I'm coming from? But at the same time, you want to be rational. You want to be logical. You want to be like, all right, cool. This is what you want to do. But prove to me that you can help yourself sustain yourself. If you can't, then I will go for that very valid point where, okay, let me help you with something that would actually guarantee you to be to live in this harsh environment that we call the world.
Okay,
but my thing is, at the age you're starting out. Do you know what I mean? You can't make money.
Yeah.
So the way you can show your parent that there is money to be made is to show you, okay, listen, dad, mom, in this field it's growing like this. Okay, these are the people making money. A, B, C. Do you know what I mean? It's projected to grow this much. You know, there's this much money going in. People are investing into it. Rah, rah, rah. Like I said, modest fashion, 2021, 400 billion. Do you know what I mean? So there's money in it. So that's in itself is evidence that you can make money.
So one second. Then, first things first, I want to have like faith in my child that actually, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And second thing, obviously have background knowledge of the field itself.
Sure.
Do you get? And then with those two things, then yeah, I'll let him do it.
So just to wrap this up, because it's been a very interesting episode. I just want to go around everyone and everyone to give their advice. A kid should be given the time and space to grow. Okay, if he wants to do something full time, I want a plan. I want to see something. I want to see X to Z. Wow, I just messed up. I want to see.
No part you didn't either.
That's short, fam. Not gonna lie to you.
That's kind of short. I want to see A to Z what the plan is. I want to see the growth plan. I want to see the business plan. What you're trying to do here. Tell me exactly what you're trying to do. Make me understand. Make me believe in what you believe in so passionately, right? Because if I can do that, then that truly means I believe in it. Because a lot of people are flaky nowadays. They want to do something because they see someone else doing it, or they want to do something because they see someone else getting money from it. Do you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are money orientated. So if you are truly passionate about it and you truly believe you can do something, then there might not be a lot of money in it as of now, like Sanan was saying right now. So you got to make me believe as a parent, because I believe I've got a right as a parent to look after my child and make sure that he achieves becomes the best person he is or she is as an individual, because it's a mad world out here, wallahi, and you might get left behind. So I want to see a plan. Like if you can give me a plan and you're passionate and etc. Wallahi, like I don't mind if you fail, because failure is part of life. Like a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are scared of failure, right? Even myself, like I'm mad shook of failure, but failure is part of life. And what Jibril and Saman was saying about like the whole university, it can happen later on. And you know what? Truth be told, university is overrated. But the thing is, everyone's got a degree. You need a degree, like that's it, or something. You don't need one, but it's great to have something to fall back on.
It's a minimum minute in this world.
It's a minimum. So to get a job, but at the same time, wallahi, like this life is mad short. And if you fail at something today, then you'll pick yourself back up, inshallah, and you'll go out. But you need that support system, because without that support system and you fail, it's game over. And then in today's world, just to give some sort of summary to this, in today's world, and like us coming from like the background that we come from, we've got support, but we don't have like financial support as like the white individual will have. Like if they fail, they can they can chill in there.
They have a fund.
They got funding there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
$1 million loan.
Yeah, the 1 million.
Small loan, yeah.
Small loans.
$1 million.
They've got that, so you got to keep that in mind. You got to understand that your parents sacrificed a lot for you, so you got to keep that in mind. If you are truly if you truly believe in this kind of stuff and you really want to go for it, then you know what? Wallah, make du'a, pray to Allah, make an amazing plan, and just go for it. Because if you fail, it happens. It's not meant for you. Just keep it cracking. Go on.
I just wanted to add, guys, that convincing your parents is the most important part. You can plan as much as you like, have the ideas, have the skills, have everything. But if your father and mother are not convinced that, okay, this person is heading in that direction and is doing that and is doing it with confidence, that you won't get anywhere. So your parents might push you towards a direction that potentially you could have become somebody very rich and famous because of a small idea that you had as a child. Because it's crazy nowadays. Nowadays, having an idea for an app, starting a small business of hijabs for girls, for example, or clothes or whatever, gets you actual places and helps you make money. So I guess what I'm trying to tell is just, it's more about making your parents understand than actually having the skills and the ideas.
And it's ridiculously hard to make your parents understand, because they didn't grow up here. They don't know what you want. The art, what's that? Like you might draw, like you guys do that for a living, like is that a thing? Or even like what videos? Like who the hell wants to watch a kid on YouTube? But a kid is on YouTube making money, but they don't understand, because
4 billion.
Yeah, 4 billion.
Kid that reviews toys.
Yeah, it's stupid.
11 billion.
Everybody's child watches that at least 400
It's crazy. Like they don't understand society. Society changes on a regular basis. Like the modern fashion thing right now. No one, if a woman tried to explain that to her mom, and she'd be like, her mom would be like, are you mad? Hijab, like people are gonna buy hijabs. But the thing is, this is where the whole, you gotta show them the plan, you gotta show them the whole backup to what you're talking about. Because go for it, mate.
I think the whole to an extent I agree with you guys. The whole planning thing, I think putting myself in a situation when I was a 16-year-old, I kind of knew what I wanted. But if you told me, right, give me a long plan, I would just break down, because I'd be like, what would you mean? Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it wouldn't have been possible. But yeah, I do agree, the whole making your parents understand, because if they don't understand, doesn't matter how many times you tell them, they will not agree with you. Because they have this thing fixated in their head where they say, you know what? Mindset, you know what I mean? Because they didn't grow up in this whole social media technology world, you know what I mean? But one thing I did want to point out is like the whole, you know, people are very, you know, pro creative careers these days, and they're like anti kind of parents. You know what, my parents hate creative careers. They don't hate it, you know what I mean? They just don't understand it, and they're not with it. And like, don't think it's all easy because you see freaking KSI doing it, you know what I mean? Or all of these, it is hard work. So like, if you're trying to do it, make sure your parents understand, because if they do understand, 9 times out of 10, they will help you. You know what I mean? They will take you to the MUAs, freaking doing makeup. If you're doing it in Manchester, blah, 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 they will save time and drive you around. You know what I mean? They might freaking, if you flop and you have something as a plan B, you're still going college or university or whatever, they will be like, you know what, it's all right. You know, we learn from it. I see you've got mad potential. We can actually do something else. Because I've seen the way you think. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to be a hero or someone that just freaking runs around and says, oh, you know what, my parents don't like blah blah, I'm just gonna do it regardless, blah blah. Or دعاء الوالد كمان بحيثيتي as well. Like sometimes you might even be good at it, but the thing is, because you don't have your parents' blessing, you will never succeed. You know what I mean? So sometimes you need your parents' blessing. So make them understand that.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, guys. Sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Shoot your shot, man.
But yeah, that's everyone done dusted. Yeah, great. Okay, that's a fantastic episode. I feel like there's some amazing points here. There was some alright points here as well, and then there was other stats points. So, but anyway, now, everyone made some amazing points. But so please subscribe to the new Wada network. Thank you for joining us. We've been Sscope, and you know what? This has been amazing.